Next up, we have Dark Sheep by Chroma, featured in The Impossible Game 2, and apparently a bunch of rhythm games, is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a Layman-Friendly analysis of a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever content you use, like the video, share, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, join the Patreon, subscribe to the gaming channel, subscribe to the Reacts channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream members, getting early access to the content, I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things later down this video, stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitar-head, so please keep that in mind. With that, let's do this. Dark Sheep, let's go. Okay. Right off the bat, so we start with like a little wind-up sound effect. We hit the drums, initial drum hit. And then we start with two main components. One, we have a lower synth, not quite a bass, but just a lower synth, giving us some arpeggios. An arpeggio being when you play a chord one note at a time. For example, here's C minor, here's arpeggiated. So we're doing that, and then we are having the other synth higher up, very nice and chiptune, I like this, giving us that initial melody containing our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from, which is immediately sequenced. Sequencing is a way to develop material in which you repeat a musical idea from a new starting point, usually the same shape, right? So if I have this melody over here, then if I sequence it, I'm going to repeat that same idea from a new starting point. So I can do it like stepwise motion up, right? I can also do stepwise motion down. Or I can do like leapwise motion, right? Like basically something like that. I'm not very good at the piano, just to illustrate, right? So we're doing that. Let me go back a second because I did hear a change. Let's see where it goes. Okay, so two more things. Number one, the melody seems to be immediately either inverted or I think inverted. So inversion being another way that you can develop material in which you play an upside down reflection of something you've done before. So for example, if I have this motif over here, then if I invert it, I'm going to be playing it the opposite way, playing an upside down reflection of it. So we're having that, and then another thing that we are having with the accompaniment synth in the background, the one that's arpeggiating, is that we are having the delay, we're having the delay panned. Panning is when you focus one ear or one speaker over another. And in this case, the initial hit of the synth is in the right ear, and then it echoes on the left ear. I don't know if it's a separate synth or if it's designed to be that way. It just sounds really cool. Let's see where it goes. Nice. Okay, and now this last run of the melody, we do another way of development, elongation. Elongation, as I said, another way to develop material in which you play a slower version of something you've done before. In this case, we're just holding down the notes a little bit further so that we can enjoy the chords a little bit more. Let me go back a second, let's see where it goes. Okay, so we bring in this harmonized version of the the motif being sequenced upwards with a couple of added neighboring tone. It seems like almost tails, right? So harmonization. This one is a pretty big one, so let me go ahead and extend this text box over here. Harmonization being counterpoint, parallel motion in thirds or sixths. And thank you for hanging out, Charlie, by the way. I'll catch you around. So let me break this down. Counterpoint being the art of melodies. How they are, how they develop, how they interact with one another, usually in the context of having 2 or more melodies playing at the same time. Counterpoint can be measured in many ways, one of which is motion. One of the types of motion being parallel motion. Parallel motion is when you have more than one melody doing the same thing at the same time from a different starting point, the same shape, right? And this is going to be happening from a separate starting point or an interval. Weebliss, welcome today. How you doing? Intervals are the distance between notes. There are many ways of counting intervals. The simplest and easiest of which is you grab a scale. Let's take C major, for example. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, which is the white keys in the keyboard starting and ending on C. So we have that, and then we take a point of reference. We're in C. We might as well take C for this example, which is going to be our first or our root. Then from there you can count up or down. So first is C, up a second D, up a third E, up a fourth F, up a fifth G, up a sixth A, up a seventh B, and then C again is up an octave. Then just as you can count up, you can count down. C, down a second B, down a third A, down a fourth G, down a fifth F, down a sixth E, down a seventh D, down an octave C. So, no, welcome back. Come back to more math. Yes, so thirds or sixths up or down. So if my melody starts on C, that means I can have it up a third on E, D being the harmonization, down a third on A, down up a sixth on A again, or down a sixth on E. So yeah, one thing to note is that a third up is the same as a sixth down. A sixth up is the same as a third down, giving music a little bit of symmetry in that sense. So we're doing that, and then we are adding what are called some neighboring tones. Looks like we're doing those as maybe some trills. Trill is basically when you play 2 notes very, very fast next to one another, kind of thing. And neighboring tones, well, neighboring tone is that you have a series of 3 or 4 notes. If it's 3 notes, you can have the first and last note being the same note, and then the one in between is going to be your neighboring tone, the note immediately above or immediately below. So, upper neighboring tone, lower neighboring tone. And user, welcome today. How you doing? Gotta love the Contact Piano VST. This one is the Grandeur. I love it. I love it. It's unironically one of my favorite piano VSTs. It's not the default, so it's a little bit higher quality, but I really like it. And just as you can have upper, lower, you can have double neighboring tones, which would be you're doing both, right? So the first and last note would be the same, but then you do upper, lower, or lower, upper. So we are taking the melody, we are extending it, adding these neighboring tones being played as trills, harmonized on top of that. Let's see where this goes. Drum beat in the background. The synth doing the pitch. So we bring in the synth. We have the melody playing in the background, the elongation of the melody, but now we bring this triplets over here. Now we're having this new arpeggio. We have a very, very heavy drum going on. We kind of drop the beat kind of thing, right? So a triplet, usually when it comes to music, we do what are called straight notes. So you can have straight eighth notes, right? 1 and 2, da, 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 da. Triplet just means that you put 3 notes instead of 2. You can feel those threes going on. That is essentially what we are doing over here, and boy does it work. Here it goes. Is that a gentleman? The gentleman's good. I prefer the Grandeur though. And we switch to a very brief call and response. Call and response. Triplet, there you go. Call and response being a musical conversation. In this case, you could hear like the rhythm section, the drum and the lower synth giving us that melody, and then we had that that harmonic minor thing over there, right? When it comes to the minor scale, you have what determines it: the minor third, minor sixth, minor seventh, and then back to 1. The harmonic minor takes this minor 6th, minor 7th, and turns it into a major 7th, giving us me just, again, giving us that augmented feeling. We use that a little bit, very, very commonly used for the minor scale because it adds more to the cadence with some polyrhythms. And we also include some polyrhythms with all this stuff, right? So a polyrhythm, the word, poly, multiple, rhythm. Usually used in the context of having multiple rhythms playing at the same time that conflict with one another, and those conflicts being what makes them sound cool. The simplest and easiest one to understand is the 3 versus 2 polyrhythm. You have one part doing 2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, and the other one doing 3s, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Both together. There you go. So we are using that through here. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, we have the other synth. Oh, different arpeggios there. Very chord oriented. We bring back the harmonized version of the melody, and we start, it seems, some modulation. Modulation is when you go from one scale, one set of chords, or a key signature to a different one. This is often based off of the circle of fifths. If you want to become a musician and you want to get into composition and that kind of stuff, I highly recommend you learn the circle of fifths. This is going to be your bread and butter. This is basically every major and relative minor scale and the distance between them, the differences between them. For example, we have C over here, white keys in the keyboard, all natural keys starting and ending on C. Or alternatively, the relative minor, which means it's the same notes, just started from a different starting point. In this case, A is the same notes. And then we have the circle of fifths, which means that C to G, like G is the fifth note on C counting up, C1, D2, E3, F4, G5. And if we then play G major, if we keep the same structure, the difference between C and G is that G, instead of having the F, is going to have the F sharp. But then the structure stays the same. And in order to modulate from one another, you need to figure out how to turn that F into an F sharp. That is what makes the circle of fifths. The closer you are from one scale to another, the easier it is to modulate. So technically speaking, the easiest modulation you can have is from C major to A minor. That is one of the easiest modulations you can have. The next easiest modulations would be from C major to G major or to F major, because F is a fifth down. And then you just continue jumping from one to the next until you get to the furthest key signature, which would be a tritone away. So yeah, modulation means that you're moving from one to another, as it seems like we are doing right now. It sounds like we're doing some common chord or pivot chord modulation, which just means we're finding common denominators between the two scales, and then we are using that to pivot. Let's see where this goes. Yep, the bass there is helping the modulation. Adding the snare. Oh, it's the same melody from before. Oh, there's the triplets there. And yes, the exchange rate is working now for the stream avatars to Botrix. There's a couple of fixes that still need to be implemented, but the 1.0 Soul Creek implemented it last night, and my god, is it working. Is it working? So yeah, we're one step closer to having full integration of everything. For context, for those of you who are watching on the record, the YouTube video record thing, the stream avatars underneath, those give gold for requesting songs. We use Botrix with their points, and we have a very complex system going on right now, but we just had, with the help of Soul Creek, huge shout out to Soul Creek, who has been building the infrastructure that I've been using for this. YouTube archive, thank you. The infrastructure for this, and he finally figured out a way to turn the points you get from the stream avatars into points that you can use for the Botrix stuff, and vice versa. So yeah, no, Sals, welcome back here. So yeah, I am very much, I'm very happy that Soul Creek is able to pull it off. We found a couple of quirks today with the testing, but so far, yes. And yes, Light Magician, this is the last one for the day. So yeah, no, it's very excited. Like, for example, this interface over here, I used to use a Google Sheet for this, and then Soul Creek built this for me. He just built it from the ground up. And now we have like a bunch of automations on this and everything. It's insane. It's so much better than what we had. So yeah, no. Anyway, back to this. We are having some arpeggios further higher up. We are definitely escalating. This is a beautiful way of developing the material because we are now using the same melodies we did before, but now we are modulating. We're changing the chords underneath, basically shifting the ground from underneath, and this is just... I'm loving this a lot. It's very, very metal. I am loving this. And you know what else shifts from the ground underneath? The Patreon. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. If you want to support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today. Even if you're not pledging any funds, do join the free tier at least, because this is where the non-gaming LFAs are going. What are those? Anime, film, TV, label music, the kind of stuff that we usually don't do on the main channel on YouTube. Why? What we do on YouTube is inherently fair use. That does not stop bad actors such as record labels, film studios, individual independent rats, scammers out there from abusing the copyright system on YouTube. So, in order to just not deal with that for these LFAs, we're putting them here exclusively on Patreon, free for everyone to watch, with paid members, citizen tier, and above getting early access to the content. So, if you want to support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today, consider becoming a paid member today. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Linked in the description down below. Thank you to those who are already members, especially those who are paid members, particularly Real Nemesis, French Guy, Amayar, and Quebelco. Your support means the world to me. For everybody else, become a member today. Consider becoming a paid member today. You will get access to the content either way. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Linked in the description down below. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Become a member today. Alright, back we go. Let's see where this goes, dude. Oh my god. Build up. Call and response. Sequencing. I think it's an inversion of what we were doing before. And next section. New variations. Call and response. Panning between the ears. Ooh. Switching things up back to the lower side. Call and response. So now the call and response based basically on this very nice metal. This is super metal, dude. Oh my god, this is very metal. Like, you put this on like regular guitars or something like that and it sounds just like heavy metal, dude. This is awesome. Spin up and ooh. Small beat. Oh. Okay, so we bring in this variation of the motif. We are giving this very weird rhythm to it, and we are putting it through an ostinato, through a brief ostinato. Ostinato means that you're repeating something over and over and over again with little to no variation. So we have that happening while we bring back the exact same rhythms we just used, and we just juxtapose them one on top of the other, and oh my god, this works awesome. This works awesome. So music often operates in threes. It's either I, me, we, or I, you, we, or 1, 2, and 3. In this case, we had idea 1, idea 2, idea 3 being the combination of both. And oh my god, this is awesome. Sega Mega Drive, Game Boy Color, chiptune brings nostalgic feel-good vibes. I grew up with, like... Guatemala was very far behind technologically for a very long time, so my first console was Nintendo 64. Like, my dad had an NES, but that was his. So yeah, no, it's yeah, let's see where it goes. Either gold or currency, yes. Some breaks here in between. Mario Brothers, I don't know, Javelin. Yeah, I've played those, of course. Especially because when I had, I was a Nintendo kid growing up. Like, I had an N64, I had a GameCube, I had a Wii. Then I switched over to PlayStation back when it was good, and yeah, I had a PS3. Really, really good stuff. And I remember the Wii had the marketplace for the old games, and it was great. Sorry, there was a mosquito there. Anyway, so yeah, we're having this, and yeah, we're just going back and forth. And this sequence is just so good that you can just repeat it. Yeah, let's see where it goes. Back to the inspiration, the harmonized. And now we're having some very fast. We're doing some runs, by the way. A run on the accompaniment. So a run, we're doing a panned run. Run in music is when you're doing something really, really fast, right? Like, for example, you can hear that we're going very fast up and down the chord in the right ear, and then goes to the left ear, and we're just going back and forth between the two ears. This is so much fun, dude. Oh my god, let's see where it goes. Nice, bringing that melody upwards to the trip. Oh my god. We bring it to the triplets. Oh, this is so good. Yeah, we bring in a slight bit of recapitulation. Not a full-on recapitulation, because this time we bring in the effect over here, but we bring back the tripleted arpeggios, dude. And that was so good. Like, we end up holding the note and basically going wild. Basically, we have Chroma here emulating a guitarist holding a note and then grabbing the whammy bar on the guitar and just going wild with it, right? A whammy bar in the guitar, I usually use a Floyd Rose. A Floyd Rose, a whammy bar, is this over here, right? It's basically a floating bridge that suspends the strings, and then you have the bar over here, the whammy bar. You take this bar, if you press on it, you loosen the strings slightly. You go the other way, you tighten them. So one of the things you can do is that you can take this bar, put it on the other side, and then just shake it, and you get that kind of shake that you have for this. Almost sounded like a guitar solo. It kind of sounded like a guitar solo. So there is the guitar, which is that there was somebody in the 80s that was feeling way too lame, just standing on their keyboard, and you can shake guitars. If you listen to somebody like Steve Vai. Listen to Steve Vai. He loves doing that. Like, you look at, there's this video. I'm not going to show it because of copyright. But if you look up Crossroads, Steve Vai guitar duel, you will see which Steve Vai song. I would say the Crossroads guitar duel, when Steve Vai goes on to his finisher, he just shakes the guitar with the whammy bar, and he loves doing that. Like, that's something he just loves doing that. And then we have the concept of the guitar. So usually keyboards you have to put on the stand, and you have to stand there and just play it. And eventually somebody, probably in the 80s, was like, no, that's lame. I want to be around like the guitarists. And yeah, now we have a keyboard that you just handle like a guitar, and you can put like effects on this side and whatnot. A lot of fun, not very practical for keyboard players, but it looks cool and it gives you freedom to move around on stage. So that's what they use. So yeah, it kind of sounded like it was this sounds like a band performance. It's so well written, because it sounds like you're having a metal song being played, but then adapted to chiptune. This is insane, dude. Let's see how it goes. Drums there, speeding up a little bit more. There's the variation. Ooh, switching the drum beat to the ostinato. Back to the call and response with harmonic minor. And now we're just going back and forth. Oh my god, this is awesome. Oh, the tripleted arpeggiations. Oh my god. The harmonized melody. And off the ramp we went. Off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there is no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I like to call any type of transition that makes your listener feel suspended, up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. Kind of like going off a ramp. How do you do this? Remove the drums, maybe the bass as well. As we are kind of doing over here, we're having like these brief landing moments with some of the drums, but not the full drum beat, right? Oh my god, this is so cool. Let's see where it goes. With the harmonized version of the sequence, holding the nose, chord building up with panning, tripleted build up. We hold it. And we ended with half cadence. So we build up the final cadence and we leave it there. When you are making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you're resolving that tension. That point in between, we call the cadence. Cadence. So what we just did is a half cadence. Half cadence means that you are building the tension and you intentionally do not resolve it in the section that you're in. This gives you momentum, it gives you pace, so that inertia, so that you can resolve in the following section, in the following song, in the following track, or you can loop back to the start, or if you're a dick, you just leave it like that. Right, like you can do any of those and it can work just as well. And with that, there you have it. Dark Sheep by Chroma, featured in The Impossible Game 2 and apparently a bunch of other rhythm games. That was a lot of fun. I was not expecting such a banger from this. Oh my, like never underestimate chiptune, and never underestimate this the stuff that people request over here. Yeah, like that was epic. Like it felt like I was listening to like a mix of Dragon Force, Stratovarius, and like Rhapsody. It was insanely good. There you go. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you need to use. Like the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first, whether the stream's going live, the videos going up the channels, updates, projects, giveaways, everything gets announced there first. We have the community there, we hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people, sort of disclaim as our own, where I host the Vintage Story community server, that kind of stuff. Also share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, so linked in the description of the channel grow. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos per week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs, so become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting you in 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions of what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim from Monday through Friday. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch, both linked in the description. So, if you live in San Antonio, Chile, and you're like, yeah, what time is whatever time it is in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, both linked in the description, and it's going to show the streaming schedule up to date in your local time zone, accounting for daylight savings if necessary. And subscribe to the gaming channel. Follow the gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. It's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. We play games on the later part of the stream, and then the VODs for every game we play live eventually end up over here. So subscribe to the channel, linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd. Swap the J for a G, and you got it. And subscribe to the Reacts channel. The LFAs are React format. This is where we're putting the Reacts for everything else. James Reacts Basterd. Subscribe to the channel, linked in the description. Or search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd. Extend the R to Reacts, and you got it. And, yeah, there you have it. Dark Sheep, Chroma, Impossible Game 2, Rhythm Games. That was awesome, dude. I really enjoyed it. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. But, yeah. Let's move on.